Good afternoon, Mr. Turnoy and Mr. Kim, and fellow students. I'm the third presenter today, and I will be talking about the reasons for increase in Korea's divorce rate. According to Statistics Korea, the divorce rate has been increasing continuously since the 1980s, and it reached its peak in 2003 with 166,999 number of divorces. Since then, divorce has been an alarming issue throughout our society. So why do married couples today increasingly seek a divorce? I have narrowed the categories into three factors: personal, social, and genetic factors. The first and most common cause for divorce is personal problems. These personal issues can result from three main factors. One of the personal causes is personality differences. Incompatibility in personality is the #1 cause of divorce in Korea today, with 45.5% of divorced couples declaring it to be their biggest problem. Most of these people state that personality issues cause frequent arguments, stress, and communication breakdowns between spouses. Another personal cause is violence, and by violence I mean physical, verbal, and mental abuse. The Supreme Court of Korea released a report in 2011 that 74.9% of all married couples experience some kind of spousal violence, and this percentage has been continuously increasing. The last personal cause is friction between the family members. Conflict between family members has always been a huge issue in Korea. For example, there was a lot of problems between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law between marriages. So this is another main problem in Korean marriage. The second cause of an increasing divorce rate is social factors. Financial strain is one of the most common social causes of divorce. After the IMF crisis in 1998, there has been an increase in the amount of people suffering economic difficulties, and this caused a lot of financial issues throughout the marriages. For instance, there were a lot of spouses that have been having problem providing for the basic life needs, and because of the rising unemployment, emotional instability, stress, and argument occurred frequently between the spouses. Furthermore, Korean people's changed thoughts towards divorce is another social factor. In the past, Korean society had very strong regulations, and they made getting a divorce very difficult for the people. Also, the people had thoughts, very negative thoughts about marriage. They thought it was humiliating and a disgrace to their families. However, nowadays, because of the influence of Western civilization, industrialization, and modernization, these thoughts about divorce has changed. So nowadays, cultural and social hostility has softened towards divorce, and the divorce procedures have also become, is also enabling people to get divorced more easily. The last social reason for divorce is the increased stature of women. Statistics Korea reported that nowadays more women go to university than men. In the 2011 census state that approximately 75% of women go to university or college compared to 70.2% of men. As women are becoming more highly educated, they are participating in the economy more. And overall, they are becoming more financially independent. This enabling them to divorce their husbands with less fear of possible financial difficulties. So last but not least, adultery also has a huge influence in the Korea's divorce rate. This problem is usually thought to be personal or environmental. However, many people do not realize that genetic factors are also capable of influencing people to cheat. In the NBC special documentary on monogamy marriage, Robin Baker, an evolutionary biologist who is famous for his book called The Sperm War, explains how the basic human nature does not match with modern society's monogamy marriage institution. And he states that men and women both have a very high percentage of cheating. Moreover, Professor Larry Young of Emory University, also known as an expert in social neurobiology, and Helen Fisher, a cultural anthropologist, Tim Spector, a researcher, states that genes can be a significant cause for people to cheat, and that certain people are born with genetic factors that make them more prone to cheat. I wanted to explain more about this, but because of the lack of time, I'll just shortly give you a few examples. For example, Tim Spector proved his theory by doing research on several twins at the Twin Research Center in the St. Thomas Hospital. And through his theory, he proved that genetic factors were, in fact, influential for people committing adultery. And Larry Young did an experiment on 2 types of mice. Because of the lack of time, maybe I'll answer. If you guys are curious, you can ask me later on in questions. So these above factors are the main reason that Korea couples today seek a divorce. I believe that it's important to face these, to keep these problems in mind in order to maintain a healthy and long-lasting marriage for our future. So overall, every marriage clearly has its challenges, and sometimes divorce may be the best solution. However, I also worry that nowadays people are deciding to separate too easily, and I believe that it's important to remember what Franklin D. Roosevelt once said: when you get to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. So thank you for listening to my presentation.